Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
Hello folks, welcome back to Dice Commando for episode 4 of ARH-FFG-Legal Reprint Week here on Dice Commando. Today we are going to be talking about supports and upgrades. Hey folks, welcome back. Happy Thursday. Hope you've been enjoying not only your week, but also the string this week, or at the very, the series this week, or at the very least, it's been giving you stuff to think about or has initiated conversation, or at least some thought. So, fair warning, today and tomorrow, we're talking basically the big stuff, right? These are going to be the longer videos, so, feel free to hit pause and come back to it later or whatever. So today we're talking supports and upgrades. Now, this one's been very challenging because, again, one of our objectives here is to not create the Destiny's Greatest Hits album. But it's very hard to do that on these dice cards, right? So this has been a challenging one because we're trying to, make sure that it's not just nostalgia driving these choices, make sure there's a logical thing behind that. And as we talked about in the kind of the philosophy chat and throughout the week, can something do it better? That's a very hard argument to make on dice cards, because it leaves a lot of design space open. Plus, that's the fun stuff to design. That's the stuff they're going to want to design in the future. So it's been very difficult, I think, to strike the balance on, not taking something just because it was your favorite card and kind of deciding, is this the right baseline or not? So let me start with something that I'm not choosing and kind of put that in perspective. So one of my favorite cards in all time of Destiny, Shoto Lightsaber. Absolute, the art on it, top notch, fantastic card. I've been saying reprint Shoto forever, but Shoto's not going to be on my list because realistically, I think that going forward through the perpetuity, the future of this game, I think Shoto Lightsaber probably is going to cause, it's just going to be too good, I think. And as much as I would love to see Shoto reprinted, I would be really worried about those interactions. I mean, with the increase in health on characters that we've seen, we're in an aggro-y meta right now, but as things go forward, I think that what we'd see with Shoto. So Shoto's not on my list. Sorry, Ahsoka. I love you, but sorry. So, all right, let me start with the shorter list, which is the supports that I've chosen. Now, most of these supports are actually not dice supports. And first, let me start with kind of the ramp series, if you will. So first is Binds All Things. I can't really envision this game without a Binds All Things. And when I look at that, I also look at that and I say, you know what, we need a tech team. Like, I think we need a tech team that serves a purpose. And in that vein, I also look at Streetwise, right? Kind of what the faction identities are. Blue wants to get lightsabers out. Red wants to get, or at least in theory, Red wants to get some supports on the board, some vehicles on the board, and Yellow wants to play tricky events, right? So when I look at the three of those kind of as a cycle, I think those are basically top-notch, like we almost need to have them type of things. All right, next is Bubble Shield. Bubble Shield's a card I was surprised didn't get reprinted in Convergence. I think it really serves a good place in the game overall. Gideon would love it right now. So I'd love to see Bubble Shield reprinted. Another card, and this is actually a 2-player set card, which does influence my decision. You guys know I am high on wanting 2-player set cards reprinted. But Honor Guard. I think Honor Guard did some really good things over the years from kind of that, again, that's, it's Viper Pro Droid-ish. I know they work different, but it's kind of in the same vein of that, of having something out that allows you a allows you a react of sorts. Now, Honor Guard doesn't. You have to actually pop it as an action, right? But I'd love to see Honor Guard out there, because having that out there makes your opponent choose differently. And I just think it's a really good card, and I'd love to see that one come back. This one might be a little more of a debate, but Senate Chamber. So Senate Chamber's always been a good card. Now it's gone now, but it was a really good. It rotated out, but it was a really good card in of what it did, and that it facilitated a lot of interesting points. The die itself was pretty good. You could PA to remove any die to flip. And Senate Chamber is one of those cards where I have to ask, could something else do it better? And yeah, something else could be more impactful, but it's one of those things where I don't know that it should be, right? So I think Senate Chamber kind of fills that niche spot. Not everybody's going to play it. It fits in certain types of decks that basically it's a little extra added control most of the time, but then it can help, get the side you need to later. I think it's really good. And the thing is, Senate Chamber doesn't fit into the way that most of the time I like to play Star Wars Destiny, right? I don't typically like big board state stuff, but when I'm looking at what I think Destiny needs, I think Senate Chamber kind of fits into those type of archetypes. And I certainly don't want to see something that does it better. Last one, and this one is, I think you guys are going to think I'm crazy for this one, but I would like to see, and I know this one has a lot of negative implications for all of our X-Wing people, but I'd like to see the Fire Spray 31 get reprinted. There was a lot of fun around mods and stuff across the galaxy. It was done well. There was impacts of that, of course, in terms of what kind of came out of it, the whole Vader's Fist era and everything, and the Snoke era primarily. But Fire Spray 31, with what it enabled that mod strategy, and I thought that was really creative. So, you can take it or leave that suggestion. I just thought that Fire Spray 31 filled a niche. I don't think that it can be done better, and I think it's another one of those things where if it is done better, I think it would not be good. But opening the door, and you'll kind of see this recurring theme, but mods is something that kind of showed up and then kind of went away. And I think that they have a place in Destiny to do, what they do. I think that having starships out and being able to put a gun on the starship is a good thing. I think it's a good design space. And I think Fire Spray 31 kind of leads the charge on that. All right, so that's all I have for supports. Now, in the kind of the interest of time, we won't necessarily talk long about every single upgrade that I have. What I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14 upgrades. So we'll kind of go through them a little quicker. The first one, let's just be honest here, is Holdout Blaster. I don't think that should surprise anybody. I know people have been calling that for a long time, but Holdout Blaster is the kind of the fundamental upgrade in this game, right? It took a lot of, crud in the FFG era because they're like, oh, well, we can't print guns with ambush. And it's like, no, or you could just design your characters to not abuse having ambush on guns, right? So I think Holdout Blaster needs to come back. I think it'll help keep a lot of other things in check and provide a really good baseline for what kind of that fundamental gun upgrade should look like. So you have Holdout Blaster. So now I'm just going to go down the list. Card I've always liked, Black Sun Pistol. Just always liked the card. I don't think anything can do it better. I thought it was really creative. Next, I have Crossguard Lightsaber. This one definitely, especially because, again, in my character thing, I really think the importance of bringing Reylo back is, I think it's really important. And this is a 2-player card as well, 2-player set card as well. I'd really like to see the Crossguard Lightsaber come back. I think it fills a niche spot. I have Fragmentation Grenade. This is a kind of a wonky little card, but it's a fun little upgrade. That might fit more into the Destiny's Greatest Hits thing with me from a nostalgia standpoint. But I think it's a really interesting upgrade in terms of what it does. And I think it fits into several other deck archetypes out there as well, even currently. Poe's Blaster. Poe's Blaster is a 2-player set. Again, I'm proposing that Poe Dameron, more than a pilot, 2-player set Poe, be reprinted, and it makes sense in that case, I believe, to have his gun be reprinted. Next is Dark Council. Yet again, a 2-player card set, 1-drop. It's not an ability, right, which is important, which is very relevant for a lot of other cards out there right now. Dark Council does good things as kind of a ramp card and it's not an ability, so it's not quite in the, it doesn't have the implications of being an ability. Crystal Ball. So I spoke in the last episode about how I really liked the odds archetype. I think Crystal Ball, I would like to see the odds archetype come back, like with Rift Valley, and I think Crystal Ball fits right into that, and I don't think anything can do it better, so I'd like to see Crystal Ball. Next, we have A99. I'm kind of going out of order here. A99, a Quad Breather, I think serves a great spot in Star Wars Destiny. It's it's a hero upgrade, and it just absorbs 1, and it's a very meta dependent call, and I think that having it there does good things. Now the drawback there would be I'm not proposing a custom bandolier. Custom bandolier doesn't rotate out yet, but having a bunch of cheap equipment does carry things from like a fatal blow perspective or whatever. But again, that's stuff that'll kind of solve itself over time, I think. Next is Awakenings on the Hunt. Good 1-drop upgrade. To that end, I also have a good 1-drop upgrade from the red side. So that was one thing I was trying to like be psych, right? So we see Dark Council, Crystal Ball to a certain extent are 1-drops. We have On the Hunt for the yellow side, and then we have Promotion from the red side. I really, really, really liked Promotion back in the day. At one point, I was trying to get like I was trying to get 4 of them at one point, and back in the Awakenings when you couldn't kind of get anything. Very, very good upgrade there as well. Last 2, we'll save that one for last. Next one's Verpine Sniper Rifle. So this was from the first draft kit. Never saw a ton of play, but it had a couple different lines of play because it had the special. So it had special. It has 2-gun, I believe. It's a 2-gun, a 2-for-1, and then the special for the unblockable. So it kind of fit into like a guns. I mean, it also fit in, but it's play it with Poe. But I don't think that, I think, again, it's something that's easily accessible to people. I don't think anything can really do it better. I think if something like is more impactful, I think that gun might be busted. So I'd like to see Verpine out there. Again, it was never like super good, which is why I didn't see a ton of play, but it was kind of a fundamental like baseline setting card, and I think that has a good space. All right. I said skipped one. So second to last one is Ezra's lightsaber. I could go either way on this one. It's just that it's another one of those things where I think it was really good. It was obviously really good because it had redeploy, and honestly, there's enough. Honestly, I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna drop that because there's enough 2-drop sabers out there right now, and again, 2-drop saber. And again, it kind of fits into that design space thing. There will be spots for them to do that. So I think Ezra's saber we can drop that. The last one, this one's going to sound crazy, and so I saved it for last, but Maul's lightsaber. I think Maul's lightsaber was really well designed. It was played by people that weren't just Maul. It wasn't really busted because of how hard it was to get out. Now, maybe in the Forsaken era, in the Forbidden Lore era, maybe it does become more of a threat. But I think Maul's lightsaber being kind of that big, bad, scary weapon, plus being all modified so you can still, control some other things around it, I think it really, really serves a good spot. So anyway, that finishes out my list. Hopefully, actually, we kept it pretty short today, so that's good. So that's kind of my take on. There's a lot more. Obviously, there's a lot of proposed. It's not that many in the grand scheme of the game, but that's a fair amount of supports and upgrades of dice cards that we're proposing to be reprinted. So that's why I was trying to strike the balance of finding those fundamental cards versus still leaving design space and freedom open in the future. So I'm sure that there's many more. I'm sure that this is something that a lot of people are passionate about. I hope I didn't break anybody's heart on the show to lightsaber with my take on it. I just think that looking at 2-drop upgrades in the future might be really, really good, especially with the way shields have been going. So could you imagine Leia with Shoto or something? Oh my God. Or even Reylo with Shoto. Anyway, folks, let me know what you're thinking. There's probably a lot of stuff I overlooked, and I'd love to get your feedback and hear what you're thinking as well, kind of any hidden gems that I missed, or why Maul's lightsaber or fire spray is a really bad idea, stuff like that. So let me know your thoughts, folks. I will see you tomorrow for a long one as we go through the event suite. If nothing else, go Commando.